there, but other teams they could be fighting, and randomly these guys they're fighting for Cruz del Valle. I don't know why, because I don't feel like it's
That's
kind
like
of
the best place. Have you never been there, Martin? There's like
I
a
don't know.
graveyard and a church.
Happy to have you back, Mr. Oh, that's cute.
Alejate.
Alejate.
Yeah, that's what happens. And Aguila.
Aguila.
That's what goes down when you decide to jump over here, Team Clueless. And our exiles, they're taken to the battlefield in Cruz del Valle. Again, it's not really an area you fought over too often, and I hope for both of these teams that they kind of just go away from here and go somewhere else, and because the circles, well, as you can see,
Very
really around.
unfortunate, indeed.
One team that we mentioned them briefly, but a team that I now want to have my binoculars on, at least for the first couple of games, to see how they're gonna fare as a new team as well. Genesis. They have added new players. They've picked up Shrimsy, and
Mime.
Yep. It's one of those teams where I know of the potential. Individually, they're all extremely good players, but how are they gonna work as a unit in tournaments like these? That is, well, I mean, that's left to be seen.
I'm curious to see how they're gonna go. Shrimps is an amazing player. Mime is also a very good player, but kind of I think the way he put it himself, he missed the stage of where some players just got grandfathered, as he called it. It's kind of if you don't have the network, if you don't know anyone, you didn't get an invite, you didn't get a team slot based off that. You had to fight your way, and I feel like he kind of showed himself or showed others what he's capable of. Obviously, otherwise he wouldn't be on this team right now. So I think these guys actually have the potential to be extremely great. Obviously, they lost some players, removed Nerve, and K-Mine has gone to Liquid. But I think these guys, if they get it together and they kind of manage to play together as a unit, stay up as 4 to late game, I think they have a very big potential to be in there. But right now, for me, the number one team, without even seeing one game, I would say is obviously the SONIQS boys.
Yeah.
With Waldo, Tiggleton, Maluk, and Sharky.
You put them over Shoot to Kill?
100%. These guys, like with the whole core of Tempo with Maluk and Sharky, and then the hard work, dedication of Waldo and Tiggleton, I would say that these guys potentially have. They would definitely, if we had another NPL, they would win all 3 phases again. But they will also be able to maybe contest something in like an international stage, but that the old Tempo lineup didn't have.
It's one of those things. Just like when we discussed FaZe today, it's like you look at what they've done in 2019, and you go, can they actually can you make them even better? Now they have Gustav, and you feel like, well, maybe they can. And this is also a thing where had this been Tempo in 2019, I'm like, we all know what Tempo did in NA. They were like the flagship of NA PUBG for that entire year. And I have to agree with you. Looking at this form and Rust, I'm like, had this been the fall, they could probably have done even better. Not only winning in NA, but as you said as well, be able to bring home some global titles too.
What I'm a little bit sad to see is that they didn't manage to drag Microstar with them. Like I think he was a big factor in how well they did, and I think he was one of the reasons that they managed to maybe pull back sometimes. They had some rough starts. They had some times where we saw them and they were like, these guys, they're a ghost of themselves, but managed to somehow make it back and win the phase anyway. And I think a big credit for that goes to Microstar. So hopefully they'll either find a new coach or somehow be able to poach Microstar off whatever his future holds.
Yeah, either that or hopefully the players that did have the honor of working under him or working with him as a coach can try and bring some of the tools that he gave to them. So they will be able to work with what he kind of helped them with back then, should they find themselves in similar situations at some point.
I don't know what Hayate Masaki means, but do you?
I assume that
Sharky.
It's something with a massacre.
Hayate Masaki.
Masaki it sounds like food. I don't know why. It's like chicken masala, Hayate Masaki, you know?
Wow.
It could be the same thing, you never know. It could be. I probably offended someone now, but I didn't intend to, I'm sorry.
I don't know what it means.
YAHO, they're rotating forward. It's not always, you gotta learn, Martin, it's not always that things mean something.
Yeah,
sometimes it's just the name. What does AVNQR mean?
Avenger.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure that also means something. We just don't know the actual way of spelling it.
That's true.
there's many different ways that one can be put out.
I mean, unless you're Swedish or Norwegian, it's good. I'm a Vangara.
Vangara.
Or Russian, you know. But I actually have 3 player shirts that are 8-10 years old where it says Avenger. But then we got into
with like the full text Avenger.
Yeah. But then we got into unique ID games, and it's gonna be pretty hard to be the first one to get Avenger in a game where it sold 50 million copies or whatever, So I changed it.
I was Scream in
Scream?
Counter-Strike before Scream was a thing.
Really?
Back like my first
With
LAN.
a K or a C?
Oh, with a C, like a screaming.
Yeah.
With the back when I played I played on
okay.
LAN cafes with my friends when I was like 13, 14, 15 years old. So I feel like I might have been the Scream before the Scream. I don't know when he started playing. Probably back then too.
I don't know.
If
either. You're older, you get the.
I get royalties.
Yeah.
Ooh, he should pay me some of his earnings. I don't know. I just remember him being a big famous Counter-Strike player. Let's see, Pravi. He's gonna find one. That's one of the S1 players out of position, you might argue. I think he was trying to reposition himself, but got caught in transition. Pravi able to sweep one there, and my biggest, it's not really concern, but just my thought when I look at this new Genesis lineup is, I feel like they're all. I will be honest and admit that I don't know Mime too well and what he's capable of doing, but knowing the other 3 players, I feel like they're all very different players.
Oh, yeah,
and sometimes it can be really good to have a lot of different options with your lineup, but I might think or feel like they're not. I don't want to say too different, but it's going to be hard to like kind of mold it. It's kind of mold it together in a fluent form. We'll see.
In a yin yang kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly. It has to go and be in sync, right? Yeah.
I think that that's also what I meant by saying, like, if they're capable of playing together better as a unit, staying together as 4. Obviously, you can have a flanker, you can have a more of an entry. But they, for me, they way too often lose 1 or 2 players and then have to play more in a salvage mode rather than playing their aggressor, which I really like. When they're in that position to play their aggressor, I really like to see that kind of style, the smash mouth style from them.
I mean, looking at how they're playing right now, they've taken center position and they're sitting in a very, very, very. It's not that much, but it's a pretty greedy split. Given they know they're off the map there and there's only so much up for grabs, and teams will be trying to get center positions. So even if Profi wanted to go back down to Mime, I'm not even sure that'd be possible at this point.
We'll see how that's gonna go. Wohayo, Finna, Earth. These guys are repositioning as well on the western side, and the circle's gonna close to see what's gonna happen. It's very centered already. Whoop! Ooh. That's a nice one.
This one is gonna end down on the lattice compound.
This is like
it's gonna end straight on Riot.
Right now, the Team Clueless boys with the 2 U2 NA guys, they're just laughing right now. Coming in from the northwest, it's gonna be
decent.
so nice of them.
Oh, you wanted to give us a circle. Thank you. Thank you.
Like, oh, nice.
I like the fact that even with that knowledge, and then just still stops to scout. Like, just to be sure. Just to be sure. Because, you never know who's hiding around the corner. We swirled.
I love Feezy.
First time I met him, I think, was in London for the PGI qualifiers.
Oh, right. And then you met
Leicester.
Then you met 60% of him later. He lost like 40% of his body weight.
Oh, I did not.
Oh, you haven't met him after that?
I don't think so, but I mean, I didn't understand what you meant by the way that you said it. But that's kudos to him, and that's congratulations.
Absolutely impressive.
Very impressive.
Very handsome man.
Oh yeah, I've seen the pictures. I've seen the photos. Yeah, I remember now.
It looks crazy.
He's a very, very, very good-looking man. Yeah. But that's not at all what I wanted to say. I wanted to say that I'd met him, and I think he's a very nice guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have some stories, but they're not. They're off-stream situation. TOS. No, not even TOS. Just some good stories. I don't want to share that.
Elusive.
Some fun stories.
They do get eliminated. They were picked apart one by one. They never really put up a fight against anything, and now they have gone down and out. You can see here, shoot to kill. They're looking to see if they can pick up anything off of that small engagement, but I feel like it was over pretty much before it started. So I was just going to say there, they might get turned on, and as you can see, double headshot coming in towards. I believe that was on Civil. Yep, has to fall back immediately.
Question is Shrimpsy playing that compound where it ended a lot alone right now? He is. Okay. The Genesis boys, they're splitting 1-3.
That's not really a spot you play. I mean,
I don't see that. Okay.
you can play it as one now
yeah.
because the fact that there's a team above and a team below you means that no one else can get there.
Right.
So as long as you have one nearby, and you
he
can see
goes.
now Win is coming over as well. Or H, is it a Win or H Win?
He actually doesn't care.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured. I've always
You can do both. That's the
Win.
beautiful of that name.
It's like what do you call it when you have that like talking disorder when you're like when you add the H in front of things.
Hunter Win. You can also just call
Hunter
him
Win.
Hunter.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
That's also
H
sounds,
Win or
that sounds like an American like Jason Bourne. Hunter Win.
He has. I think so. Jason Bourne reference not bad because I'm quite sure he has a lot of weapons. He lives on like a ranch or like has access to a ranch. And
Am I
shoots
supposed to
other
make
guns.
stereotypical America jokes?
No. It's just like the Jason Bourne reference was actually not bad.
I was gonna say, doesn't everyone? It's America, Martin. Come on, man.
I mean, not all the
No,
Los Angeles people and those guys don't have too many. Oh, Inquisition.
Yeah.
Rumblers. They have 2 guys here. Let's see what that's gonna happen here. Taylor J has found Waldo from SONIQS.
That's also a fun story. EXO or EXO, Exposition. They're a team that has played together before. A lot of them, at least. I mean, is it the full old United lineup?
2 of them, right? Taylor J and Balefrost.
But Vegas was there as well.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it
But
is the full original
but
United lineup. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think Balefrost. I don't think Vegas played. He was with Ghost when they played. So there were 2. But like
He was with. I mean, Vegas was with United way back
but not at the
before
same.
Ghost.
But not at the same time as Balefrost.
Oh, but same time as Taylor J.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of it's
Taylor J
across the
Yeah.
era, old United team. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
They're
then
old
Padcaps from enemy. Old enemy.
We have Twitch Jack to fact check us. That's what they're doing. Shrimsy, well, he breached the building, but so did the entirety of Team Clueless, and he might be in trouble now. He's 1v3, and doesn't seem like any teammates are coming over to help anytime soon.
It's gonna be unfortunate. Rax. Ooh, Shrimsy completely found and flushed him as well. Stoler time now.
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, that's 3 points right there.
The best point you can get. Oh, you want to speak me by
Nitrogen.
yourself.
Nitrogen in the distance as well. Sharpshot found him, so now Pistola time here is actually kind of alone, and it's just he's up north.
He is not in a position to help out at all right now.
That could have been
Shrimsy,
a nice nade.
Shrimsy can stay alive over here, and
Yeah.
and the more time he does nothing, the bigger the chance that he'll get this to himself. Because, I mean, Pistola can't really do a whole lot to regress on him, and without NHS down there, they can't push it as one again. I mean, you gotta wait for your teammates to come by.
Yeah, Honey Badger's been taken down by the Rumblers. Padcap's gonna find Tickleton, so it's a point for him. Rello is on the outside here. What are they gonna? Oh my God! What a nade, Snakers.
Thought he was getting away from there, Soup, but ain't gonna happen. This is a nade fiesta right now. All the kills are coming in with big old frag grenade explosions. Campaigny does manage to find one up. Padcap's last remaining player on his team trying to do something, but not gonna happen either. He's gonna go down and out.
Phase 3. When this closes, it's gonna go from 1 damage per second to 3. He has 45 seconds to do it. They need a card to make this happen. Let's see how that's gonna go on the south side. And Genesis, they're just picking them apart right now. More shots are coming out. Oof, nice. 4 kills for Genesis so far. All 4 alive on the southern side. And if my knowledge is correct about this one, the next one is gonna go far south. So they're actually looking pretty good.
Southeast, right?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, it can actually be both.
Yeah, but
It's gonna go south.
It's gonna go straight down. I literally said earlier it's gonna go Riot Squad compound, and I feel like that's exactly where this next Cycle Sun is gonna be, because it has to back off of the hillside above NHS.
The question is, what are these guys in the north? Well, what's their plan?
You have to wrap east. You have to just play it slow down the hill. It's horrible as hell, but there's not a lot you can do.
Are they just happy that they're like, okay, we're all over there, yeah, all south?
Just when the observers thought it was gonna shift north. Oh my god,
yeah,
who are these noobs?
Shrimpsy's gonna find him as well, take him out. That's a flush.
How is he allowed to
Oh my god, Shrimpsy!
Wow!
How is this man not partnered yet? Absolutely insane.
That's another question. The biggest question is, why did they just live up to their name? Because they seemed extremely clueless in that situation.
Wow, okay.
No, but they were pushing it. They just lost 3 people one by one to a solo.
Right.
You don't do that. When the first guy goes down, fair enough, you didn't know exactly where he was.
Push one by one. Yeah, that's
you go right next to each other the second time around. Had he been in the building, the second player there had still not been in position to help out. Like, had he been where they thought he would still not have been there to help him out because that side of the building doesn't have any windows on it.
Nice. This action was just what I was looking for. Snakers pulling up, and now both of them are throwing nades to the car. It's going to explode. Be close. Snakers can get one, though. They're going to trade it off. One is going to go down as well. Pfeiffer is off. Devious is knocked as well. It looks like he's going to be flushed too. So let's see what the other guys are going to do. Wolf and Reload's coming in.
Every single knock you get here could be absolute difference making. Let's see, Wolf is looking over the top. Good shooting coming in from afar. It's another team here, Yahoo. With a lot of competitive experience in between them.
Oh, Shinboy. With a little, that was decent nade. Could roll. No, it's not going to work.
Not even close. You got to run and jump to get that one over the road.
Nades are coming out on the other side.
That one seems better.
Camberg, he naded himself. Was that a drop because he got naded with that?
Yeah, I would assume so. That's usually the case, especially when it's a flush. If it's a knock, that's one thing. Like, you knock yourself with a nade, but when you flush yourself with a nade, that's normally the reason. Hella goes down. Did get one knock onto Crop, but nothing more coming off of it. Jason has to make the full-on committed push forward, and there's nothing to play around here. Actually, YAHO is forced outside of the vehicle to kind of figure out where this guy's coming in from. Maluk, able to dodge one, able to get it down as well. No, not gonna get him. I thought that one was clear as daylight, but nope, not the case. Rillo and Shinboy, well, this is your dip now. Enjoy it while it lasts.
That's actually a really good send at Rillo and Shinboy. They're gonna be able to play this quite decently. Let's see how far they're gonna go. Dodge is eliminated. Dropshot is just down to Jason, and he has to run. The circle's coming on him soon, and both Wildcard and Genesis are looking to get that last kill from up there.
Yeah, he can jump down to the next downhill compound. If he can get there, then he will be able to stay alive for... I mean, now that we are this close to placement points, he will just see 34 life, but still knowing how little terrain there's available out there, no matter where the circle shifts, you can just chill until you're forced to dodge blue. You might get 8, and that will be a free point, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Ooh, Penta, that's just the top of the heads, and finally the flush does come in.
Penta, see if we can just find one more. They're fully aware that they were here, and they're outside the circle as well, so this pressure might be able to pick up a kill or 2. Nice for them. Any rumblers?
I'm assuming that there are. I'm curious now, what was your team name when you played the qualifiers?
Mighty, Easy Quals, with an E and a Z.
Oh, of course. That's why you didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Nice.
Circle goes out towards the east, and well, I mean, if you're sitting up in the northern side with Adam and Refray, you might want to start taking up your scopes and figure out where is that one dip that we can play that there's no one looking at. And I got to tell you, I don't think there is one of those anymore.
Right now, the Comets, they're laughing.
I mean, they're sitting pretty good.
Sitting literally in the circle, just laughing.
Riot Squad and D-Treats and Disciple and the gang. Remember, actually, Disciple, they pushed that one in Circle 1 or Circle 2. They wanted that compound way early. And, well, I mean, I guess they had some magic knowledge that this one was going to go in that direction because it sure as hell has paid off now.
H1's going to get in and get a little rich. They can actually play off that quite easily, maybe even get some control over it. Riot Squad, they're sitting in the compound quite comfortably. Wildcard, they're going to be moving on the west side. They're going to have lots of open space to play, but my question is, what are the guys in the north doing now? Like, are they just going to send it to the center? Or
play a shag? I don't know.
That's just going to be 4 easy 3 points.
You do have a bit of a ridge line, because you can play the ridge down here, just on the western side of Purdy and Luke's compound. As they're going now, you can play that hillside as long as no one uphill can see you. And given that they're the only team up the hill, they can just stop on the ridge exactly where Adam is now. Yeah. There they can stop, which they then don't
I would probably have stopped a little bit further north, honestly, and maybe on the shack even, because right now they're going to be having so many teams just running there to get some of those points, juicy points.
This is Shrimps is still being alive in that building way up on the northern side. That nade on the feet!
282 damage, that's a knock.
Oh, really? Honestly, a ton of damage coming in there.
Nice
Adam
shots.
goes down instantly. Refray now by himself. This did not work out the way that M-Team wanted at all. Exile eliminated as well. And Refray, bada bing, bada. No, no
Never mind,
booms.
he's
There
dead.
you go. He is dead.
So
Indeed.
shoot to kill, easy, absolutely easy. 4 points for them. Impulse is out, and they're gonna be able to run back and take this. And now later they're gonna be just obviously pushing the Comets. We'll see how it's gonna go though. Because on the eastern side, I would kind of, if I was the Rumblers, Microfight and Jazza, they kind of have to sweep on that eastern side. Maybe even, yeah, they could play towards Comets as well. We'll see how that's gonna go. Genesis is
Yeah, that's what I'm
3-1
saying.
split. I love it.
This is what Shrimsy didn't want to have happen. He was trying to shoot at the guys to get flushes, but now the entirety of Wildcard rotated underneath him, and given that they heard him shoot, they're just going to be waiting for him to start a blue. I mean, he will need all the help in the world from multiple other teams in order to make this crossing, and I just do. I mean, he did just want to be 3-er team, but I don't see how this happens this time around.
He's gotten 3 points so far for Genesis by playing alone with that. That's
Yep,
so
yep,
worth it. Oh, nice shots connecting to.
This is what he needs. He needs a team to help him out.
Taking a few more shots there. They're gonna probably both gonna go down, both Kickstart and Shuro, I think. Let's see how it's gonna evolve here. More shots coming out. Oh, that's another one. Yes, crawl. Oh.
That is close. There's holes in his backpack now, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's down
He
to
does
nothing. He's
not
gonna be able to
want to
probably
sit
gonna
up.
be able to get Keenan up here.
Shrimsy actually managed to make it to the shack, so when he's not inside the circle yet, and that's the main issue, because shoot to kill will probably get the better of him at some point soon. So it's him on one side and the entirety of his team on the other, trying to figure out how the hell, guys, do we make it inside this one.
Some ridges to run with. Maybe actually all the way to the crate?
No, he can't get up that hill at
No?
all.
You don't think
The
they're
entirety of Wildcard will spot him once he leaves the building.
No, I'm thinking Wildcard is going to be able to make it to the crate.
Oh, yeah, they can do it. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
They know there's only one. They're just going to have one guy dedicated to look at that shack and wait for
Because
someone
also
to get out.
Lata is going to be out there, so he's not going to have the
Yeah, won't be able to play the roof anymore.
elevation from it. No, H-Spin. They need to get these guys off.
Yes.
Genesis needs to move these guys. Nate's coming out now, most likely.
They have this. I mean, they're sitting in a funnel. They're sitting in a pit where Nate's like the magnet. Nate's are going to literally magnet down towards them. That Nate is going to be a little bit far. No damage done. Shrimsy staying alive. Has loot for multiple people, of course, with who he killed earlier. So I think he's dropped all his meds and everything. And he's just playing. He's just playing smokes now.
Well played by Genesis. I want to see more smokes by them, though. Nice Nate. Oh, it's on at 529. He literally caught it. Shrimsy trying to wrap. Shoot to kill, most likely will be very
There's
aware
two
of
four-man
this.
teams looking at him.
Oh, he's going to be down. That's
Yeah.
Luke. Most likely also going to be flushed on that. It's only Wooly that's inside right now. Keenan has to make a run for it. It's going to be a really nice last circle.
It's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. Given how many teams have been able to stay with 4 alive, we actually have 4, make that 5 teams. 5 of 6 teams left alive if all 4 players up.
I just want to see, the absolute center one where nobody has anything covered. It's going to be one big smoke fest.
It is 5 4-man teams and a 3-man team.
Yeah.
This is a full-on brawl. How often do you see that
It's rare,
in the end
obviously.
game, in the open on Miramar? That never happens. 5 full 4-man lineups and a single 3-man team. This is as fair as can be. This is going to be an absolutely, crazy
west.
last. Yeah, southwest. That will be
Southwest, like
absolutely
in the middle
insane.
where nobody is.
Compound
No,
is still in.
Yeah, Comets are. It's actually a pretty decent compound because
It works on this side of the circle. You don't
Yeah.
want to play it when you have to go east, but you have all division west.
Genesis is gonna go down here. Most likely all of them. Rumba still have a little bit of have one leg inside the zone. Riot Squad most likely will have a little bit of a ridge on the western side to play.
They have to get there though.
But yeah, are they gonna be able to get there? They probably want to look at either pushing Wildcard or get in on the other side and push Genesis.
That's the downside to those type warehouses. You only
Yeah.
have 2 or 3 exit points, and the other guys are just gonna be straight up staring. You can see there's only 4 doors that you can really play around. No, a little bit of damage coming in from Shrew. Shrew. Trying to allow for his teammates to push forward while he's holding back. Yazza does go down. Great shooting from Yaxley. Able to do damage over towards the Rumblers who are trying to push further forward.
One of my favorite names in the name.
Yaxley. Yeah. That does have a
Absolutely
good ring
amazing.
to it as well. Yaxley.
The names just rolls off the tongue. You'd love to say those.
There's a lot of good ones
Yeah.
in NA. Gotta give them that.
I think that's also where they have the best names. And like when people are playing public games, they have some of the best names. It's just some of them are just straight outright hilarious.
It's probably because it fits the English language. pretty
Yeah,
well.
obviously. The majority of their player base is North American, obviously, but
That's
they're
something that always-
creative and funny in another way than some of the Europeans.
And
are,
have
at
you
least.
noticed they always have old chat on in public games too?
Yeah, yeah.
People
that's
are always
fantastic.
PMing in old chat. I
Yeah.
wish there was more of that in the EU.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, whenever they are, you don't understand what they say.
No, it's either Russian just swearing at you, or they're Sharp's just gonna find Wheeze. It's gonna be an outright open battle. Mr. and Choose, the last two players here, and Shoot to Kill on the other side. They're just they're gonna be farming now. Look at all these
Yeah.
points. They're just gonna be taking them. There's a lot of knocks there. They're able to just completely swallow them up. They're not pushing that. They're not third partying that.
You
They wanna
can't
get,
cross
no.
over. As long as
I was
COMETS is
expecting
in
to
that
kinda
building,
stand and-
you
and-
can't really do anything to aggress. Profit
Cyber.
spots one, and this
Yeah,
is the
actually.
issue. You actually see immediately he's there to shoot. You cannot stand up and take these fights in this area. It's way too dangerous. That
that would've been a double.
timing. That would have been a
God.
double, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. Not gonna happen. Kickstart might get woolly
He's
up
inside.
here.
Mime is looking for that.
He's cool in this direction at least.
Mime is looking for it. Let's see if he's going to be able to finish off one or two of them. Shoot to Kill on the other side. Oh, they're pushing. They want to get these 2 free points right here. Oh, that's one. Purdy Curdy finding one. Other one is right there, Purdy. Half HP, though. He's going to be found by Penta with a headshot with the mini. Penta keeps shooting. Cherry as well. Civil is down to nothing.
A lot of help coming in to keep Wildcard alive right now. Cherry does go down. Everyone's fighting each other. Aloe and Luke need to apply some pressure in order to get their two teammates back up on their feet. And if Wooly looks up right now, there's a free kill in the middle of the road just waiting for him. That nade is going to be a little bit off. Has to back down again. He's playing this one very cautious. But it is only first knock. It is only first knock on Kickstart. So
But he's also like,
not really in a hurry.
he has the time to get him
oh, yeah.
up.
Oh, plenty of time.
Let's see, Mime has the southwestern side to himself. Rumbles is sending it to the middle. That might be a bit too early, honestly, guys.
Yes. Wanted to
Very
play
good.
center, which makes sense, but had you done this, I mean, they were just outside the circle. Had they done this 30 seconds later, 20 seconds later, there would only been maybe 2 or 3 alive.
Yeah, the
on
window
a
of
shoot to
opportunity
kill.
was not now.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. That was executed. The idea is great, the move is great, but you cannot do it while shoot to kill still is forward.
No, and COMETS for that matter. Bull is being found by Mime. Let's see if Mime can make some more happen here.
Finally, a flush comes into one of the wildcard players. They were doing a great job of keeping each other on their feet, but no more. Final circle is going to go dead center, and, well, that's going to be the first time for, I want to say, the last 23 minutes that we see COMETS actually leave that building.
Let's see how... I don't think they have too many smokes here shoot to kill, so the zone will move. It's going to take a long time for it to move. More than 2 minutes, so they can't use all their smokes right now. The smokes will last only 50 seconds, so if they use all of them, they won't have enough smokes for late game. Pericur's going to find Cherry popping. That's them out, and Mime is the last player. Luke is going to find him. So now it's a straight up 4 versus 4.
This is like, you know, Counter-Strike. The team, like the counter-terrorists and the terrorists.
Oh,
inside.
Luke!
That's a good shoot right there.
Actually goes down. Let's see if D-Treats and Sub-Zero can make something happen on this flank here. That's gonna be open.
Does he hear him? He does not. Luke gets taken down immediately. Sub-Zero, great timing, gets the flush on towards him as well. Purdy thrown down, wants to get a vision, and Aloe finds one in return. Let's see D-Treats. Now there's a tree to play around, but that's really all he can get. They do get Yaxley back on his feet, but how much is that gonna work out for them? D-Treats finds Purdy. And this one isn't done over just yet.
Cyber with Molly. 2 mollies, actually. Oh, he's going to go down as well. Civil's going to be the last player, which is 3 off the COMETS. Can he make something happen here?
This is going to be an interesting 1-1 versus 3. You would have to count him out, but then again, it is on Civil. He's a dangerous player, but it ain't going to happen.